Trump's big, beautiful tax bill passed the House and is on to the Senate. And in that big, beautiful bill, there's a lot of things to react to, but the video I'm going to make today is on the MAGA Baby Savings Account. You heard that right. They want to make accounts for kids getting born to be able to save their money. We're going to listen to Caroline Levitt talk about this, and then I'm going to give you my 2 cents on if this is a good idea or not.
One of the provisions in the One Big Beautiful Bill, as I said, this is a very pro-family piece of legislation. Not only does it increase the child tax credit, but it also includes MAGA Baby Savings Accounts for children that are born before January 1st, 2024, under 8 years old, U.S. citizens, and have at least one parent with a valid Social Security number. And when this tax provision becomes law, the child, if the parents seek to do this, will be set up with a savings account. Essentially, it's a 401k for a newborn baby. And child's relatives, their parents, can contribute up to $5,000 per year of after-tax dollars annually to that account. And then later in the baby's life, at age 25, savings account holders can withdraw up to the full balance of the account. Upon reaching 30, the account holders can access the full balance of the account for any purpose desired. So it's a great initiative for new parents, new mothers who want to set up this savings account for their children.
Props to anytime someone's helping save for the future. I just want to give flowers maybe where they deserve. Number one, the thing that I cared about when I heard this, I was like, oh, this would be amazing if it was like a Roth on steroids. You're telling me it's after tax contributions. I'm cool with that. I'm a fan of Roths. I'm a fan of properly structured life insurance. So it'd be very similar to that. They would be able to put their money in. It would be able to grow, and then you'd be able to use it very much like a Roth. And then when you start diving into it, you're like, no, it's actually after tax contributions. If you use the money prematurely, it looks like you have to pay ordinary income tax on the gain. And if you use it for a qualified deal, you have to pay long-term capital gains. So that makes me wonder, it's like, what's the advantage here? And I think the advantage is if the government is literally going to give your child $1,000, again, I'm not going to opt myself out of that. Like that's great. Thank you. I'll take that. It looks like it's going to be forced to be invested in more high growth deal, which is a lot better than maybe treasuries. So I'm good with that. And I'm just asking the question, like, what would be the incentive for families to contribute more to that? And it's one of those, it's like, if I'm going to put $5,000 a year for my kid, are there other accounts? And, with where 529 plans accounts are, I think there's pros and cons to that. But I also think, figuring out creative ways to get Roth IRAs qualified. And that's what I would love to see. I would love to see the government say, you know what? We're going to make Roth IRAs able to be used, and you don't necessarily need to earn income. Like if your kid starts, you can start a Roth for their kid. Like how incredible would that be? If you could start Roth contributions for your kid, that'd be great. And maybe as the government, we will contribute $1,000, or better yet, give you a credit for the first $1,000 that you contribute to encourage this saving for the future. That would be a lot better. When you look at the tax advantages that they're proposing in this Roth's work, they essentially are, you don't get a tax deduction on the front end, but your money grows tax deferred. You can use that money tax-free when you hit a certain age, and you also have a lot of freedom to be able to take out the money that you've contributed and use it for a lot of different areas. And so I'm a fan of Roths. I'm also a fan of high cash value life insurance, which acts very similar. You don't get a deduction on the premiums going in, but when structured and used properly, your dollars grow tax deferred. You can use that capital and you get all the benefits in the future. And so I'm a fan of that. And so when I heard of this, I was like, okay, this is like, I'm really open to this being like better than a 529 plan and a Roth on steroids for your kids, and we're getting things moving. But then when I saw that how taxes worked was there after tax contributions, which I'm fine with, but then when you use it for qualified reasons, it's long-term capital gains. And if you use it for non-qualified reasons, it's ordinary income tax. It just makes me wonder, like, why do this? What's the incentive? Like, who is this actually for? And I get you want to give free money. I'm a conservative that wishes we would stop just handing out money left and right. So it's like, how are we going to pay for this? And it seems like a direct cost, quite frankly. And then it's hard for me to wonder, like, okay, how is giving $1,000 to all these people, like, how is this going to be better for the government? Like, how, like, do we really think with inflation that $1,000 even growing 18, 20 years is going to make that big of a difference? It could, but it just feels like that we're just doing another thing, giving away more money. It sounds really good in the media, and I don't necessarily know if it moves the needle for where we need to be. I would love to know the actual cost. Like, how much is this actually going to cost the taxpayers? And then what's going to be the upside? Because anytime you get a tax credit, tax deduction, or you give away money, there should be a cost analysis around, like, this is what we're investing as the government, this is what we're getting. And when it comes to something like this, I would love to see that. I would love to see the counter argument to why this is amazing. Part of me just wonders if it's just another thing that Trump is doing that's saying, hey, this sounds really good in media, because it does. It's like, I'm making this video for a reason. It caught my eyes. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. MAGA baby account? Like, what is going on? For that, A+ on the marketing standpoint. So far, what I'm seeing, a C+ when it comes to delivery. Now, people ask, will I participate in this? Well, I'm not under 8, but will, like, my daughter participate in this? Yeah. Why wouldn't I take free money? So I'm not going to opt out. Like, I'll take this all day long. Am I going to contribute money to it? No, I'm not going to contribute money to it unless there's more benefits. And I would love to see the argument to where someone would decide to contribute to something like this versus a 529 plan, versus a life insurance policy, versus being creative and getting their kids a Roth account. Obviously, with the Roth, you need your kids to earn income. And there's creative ways to do that when your kids can start, potentially working for your company and providing value there. And then, you could make the argument that a long-term brokerage account gets you some of the same benefits from a standpoint of long-term capital gains. And so that the jury's still out on, would you put extra money into this? And so I would love to hear from you. What are the things that you like about this? What are the other questions that you have? Is this really moving the needle? I think one of my things that I really like, anytime I look at, tax cuts and all, I'm asking, okay, like, what's the benefit? Is the cost worth the investment? And I think more of the government, we have to think through, if I'm giving a tax benefit, or if I'm giving out money, how is this going to benefit society? How is this going to benefit the government? How is it going to benefit we the people? And I think we need to have more accountability for that. Love to hear your thoughts. There's my 2 cents on the MAGA baby account. And as more details come, and if the Senate actually passes this, we'll might do a follow-up or bring someone on that can really dive into all the nitty-gritty details and maybe have a different opinion. We'll see you next time. Subscribe and comment. If you want to learn more content, love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And please subscribe if you haven't already to get more videos just like this.